Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the pod.
We're happy to be here.
Yes. I hope your week is going well, or your day, or whatever. All the things.
Whenever you're listening, hope it's going good.
Yeah. It. I don't know. Life feels chill since last time we recorded. I feel like nobody's had any major events.
No, we're still kind of struggling with sleep around here, so
Fair.
I think we're just in a phase. Should probably doing a software update, something like that. So,
Fair.
Yeah, not too much is like really going on. I feel like things are busy, but not unmanageable. So
We
yeah,
love
but I
that.
don't really have anything big going on, like work-wise. I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of doing the thing.
Totally fair.
Yeah. Do
Do
you
you
have
have a
any
win?
wins?
Oh. I can go. Yep. Oh, if I say it on the pod, that means it has to happen. That's my rule. Um, I met with one of my friends last week. We had a nice little business call, um, who lives in Vancouver, and we are starting to plan me potentially moving to Vancouver in the summer. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. Um, so not like a huge win, but just cool. Like I've been like throwing the idea out
Yeah.
there and like talking about it a little bit, but just like a win of actually like taking a step to be like, where do we want to live? How much do we want to spend? What does that actually look like? So my win is actually I like had a debate of like I don't have enough time. Like I can't organize my life before my lease is up here. And then I was like, that's
Mhm.
stupid. You can organize your life in like 4 months. Let's relax. So we sat down, talked about it, and have like some sort of a game plan of like where we want to live and what that's gonna look like. So that feels nice.
Cool. We love an action taker.
Yep. Doing the thing. See if we can make it happen.
And I know you guys will be like, oh, but aren't you sad? I'll be like, no, we still have the podcast, first of all. And second of all, Jill and I hardly see each other anyways, just on the pod. So
Yeah. We're the friends that are like you see each other once every 3 months and or
we
probably
can Snapchat
or
the
like it just gives
distance.
everyone an excuse to come to Vancouver. And like that's not a
That's
bad
true.
place to go. So
That's true. Very true. Yeah, that's super exciting.
yeah,
I
we'll see.
had
Not letting my anxious brain get in the way of like, just don't do it because it's scary and new. So
yeah.
what is your
Yeah.
win?
Okay, I don't have anything that big, first of all.
You're not
Um
moving to Vancouver?
no, gosh.
No.
No. Um I had like a cool opportunity on the weekend to do some like advanced ski teaching with some ski patrol friends. And yeah, it was really cool. And I was really like pleased with my performance because I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm training for a ski exam right now where I have to teach a performance lesson and then be judged on my skiing performance the day after. So I haven't really had a ton of opportunities to teach at a high level because when you teach at Snow Valley in Edmonton, it's like little kids and like, intermediate at best. So it was really cool to be able to do like a 2-hour lesson with somebody in the mountains. And they were very grateful and they said it was really good. So stoked about that. And even more stoked, actually, this should be my win. We registered my child for preschool
That's exciting.
for like she gets to start when she turns 3, so in November next year. But
Nice.
I'm just like, bye, bitch. No, just kidding.
So yeah, get out of here.
But she went to the open house with my husband, and she really liked it, and the teachers really liked her, and she really liked the teachers. So I'm hoping that is a thing that we keep up with. So
That
Yeah.
is
Anyways,
exciting.
I guess there are kind of big, exciting things coming.
Yeah. And I think it's cool to challenge that a little bit. Like I had a moment with a client in her check-in. She's like, I didn't have any wins. And I said, try again. And then she had like 4 different wins. So I know we always say like that's why we do it on the pod, to like find the little things in the week that like don't seem big. But yeah, I think those are cool.
I kind of switched when I asked my clients about wins. I just said like highlight some wins, and then I said what's feeling really good and what's something that you're proud of. So that could be really anything. Or even if it's just like something that's feeling good, it's like, yeah, the consistency of the workouts is feeling really good.
Yeah.
That can be enough.
Speaking of workout.
Segue. We did have a little question today on the theme of calling it in. So this person says, I've been calling it in with weights for a few months for sure, maybe even longer, just not incredibly motivated to push myself, but I'm being super consistent, lifting at least 3 days a week, but I just haven't been pushing the actual weight, doing like really great thing. Nothing's feeling bad. Everything's like going okay. Just not feeling like going heavier or progressing to things like real, like making it much harder. How long is it okay to do this? Sincerely unmotivated.
Sincerely random person. Wonder who it could be. Definitely one of the 2 of us on this podcast.
It's
not
me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. It is me, guys. Yeah, I haven't felt like lifting heavy in I can't remember how long. But the thing is I don't think my strength has gone down. I think it's just where it is. My like typical injuries are not coming up. Running's feeling really good. Everything's feeling fine. I'm just calling it in. So I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I'm probably not the only one.
Probably not. And I think we all go through phases of just like kind of coasting, which is fine. And
That makes me feel better. Coasting makes me feel better about it than calling it in.
Well, because I feel like calling it in, like we used to say that I worked for a landscaping company when I was in 8. Fun fact. I got really tanned and cut grass all summer. It was a great job. Highly recommend. Would go back if it actually paid bills. But we used to always say like, oh, it's a Friday, like we're mailing it in. And I feel like not that you're saying it with ill intent, but it does insinuate that you're just like, yeah, I'm giving up. Like it's all I got. I give up type of mindset, where I feel like coasting is more of the like, not like I'm not trying to like hit PRs, but also nothing's getting worse. And I think those phases are important too, of just like, I'm just doing the thing and that's okay for right now. I think as long as we're not letting things slip and we're not like, I'm going to use 5s instead of 30s, like as long as it's
I don't
like,
have 5-pound dumbbells, so that's not an option.
but you know, like being like, I'm just going to stay where I am. Like it doesn't need to get better, but it also can't get worse, and just be like, this is just what I'm doing right now.
And I would say that like, as far as like numbers go, I'm deadlifting like around 50 to 60% of my max. That's lifetime max, we'll say. Okay. I don't know what my max would be right now. Probably very sad. And then squat, probably about the same.
Okay.
So like a true like halfway effort, like right,
well,
like
I think like you're
50 to 60%. That actually sounds better than I think. And then accessories are like, do we really count PRs on accessories?
I don't know. Like, are we PRing bicep curls? I guess you can. Like, if you want to celebrate the wins, celebrate the wins. But like, I'm not trying to PR my bicep curls. So
yeah. Yeah. Maybe I guess maybe it doesn't sound so bad now. But
no.
Man,
And I think
I am consistent.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like, are you mailing it in the sense of like, I'm just not going to do anything? Are you like
Oh no.
taking really light weights? Are you doing half your workouts? Like, I think as long as things are staying the same, that's really all we can ask for. Sometimes, like, I don't think every season of our life is meant for growth and PRs and doing the most. Sometimes we just need a phase of like, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm getting the things done that need to be done. Good enough.
Yeah.
And
And I feel like, I mean, I'm probably doing a main lift. So like a main set. And then like probably an average of 3 accessories, sometimes 4, including like a core thing or a core focus. And I just structure it like, I think I have like a squat day that has like a row, a single leg deadlift movement, and then like a plank or something of that area. Deadlift, like it's like it's so simple, but like I mean, I don't feel like being complicated right now, right? And I don't have the amount of time to spend doing like multiple things. So yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
think, well, there's a new word for you. You're coasting instead of.
Hosting. That's going to be the name of this episode.
Yeah. And I think we're all allowed to do that. Like, I think you got to check in with yourself every once in a while. I will also add a tangent that, like, depends what your goals are. Like, if you have hard set goals or you have a competition you're working towards or a run or a powerlifting or whatever, then, like, yeah, you probably don't get to coast very much. But at the same time, like, if you're just doing this for life to, like, stay active, stay strong, do the thing, cool. Coast for a little while. If we have big goals we're trying to reach, we don't really get to coast as much.
Yeah. And I was talking about this to a friend because we went for a run on Monday, and I was like, I'm probably going to find some motivation to start to lift heavy around like end of April, like after ski season's done and I'm done like my testing and stuff. Cause one of the things was I can't spend myself and then go ski all weekend. Like that just doesn't compute. And then she said, yeah, but then it'll be time to build your running because you have the race coming up in June. And I was like, right. And then it'll be like, it's summer. So I don't want to be in my gym all day. And then fall will come around and I'll be unmotivated again.
Yeah.
But, so I think like what you just said, like if you've got things on the go, you have to think about like the effect that whatever you're doing in the gym has on that. So if you're like skiing every weekend, you're like, maybe we're not maxing out squats during the week because that sucks. But I did ski all weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, including the lesson that I did, which was more of advanced skiing, not just pizzaing with my toddler. And then on Monday morning, like I went for like a 10K run with a friend, and then I skied again last night. So, and then I lifted today. So I'm like, oh, that actually is kind of like a lot. And my legs felt it. Like last night, I was like, oh, I'm tired.
And
Not
that's
done, just tired.
well, yeah. And you have other things going on. Like right now for me, it's very sad winter. Sad girl hours over here. I haven't used my new ski boots one time because I can't justify the price of a lift ticket with our snow conditions.
Yeah.
So anywho, it wasn't meant for me to just cry about my brand new ski boots sitting under my bed untouched. But what I was going to say is like, I don't really have that much else going on right now. Like the gym is my main source of activity other than walking, but like it is my main source of activity, movement, that kind of stuff. So I don't really have a reason to not be pushing weights in the gym. Like I'm recovered, I'm not sore, I don't have a bunch of other things going on. My life isn't that busy. Like it's busy, but like not so busy that I can't get to the gym. My stress is medium currently. That's a topic for another day. But like I don't really have a reason to not be pushing weights in the gym.
Yeah.
So I think you have to look at it that way too, of like, if I was just like coasting through the gym, I wouldn't be doing myself justice because there's going to be phases of my life where I need to coast and I need to chill and I don't have the time or the energy. But right now I have all of the things. So I might as well get strong while I have the time and space mentally and physically.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, and the other thing I was going to say is that like running is going really well. I'm just base building right now. Obviously I want to have like the biggest base ever to go into a 30K trail run, which don't ask me why I signed up for another 30K trail run, even especially since anybody who follows me on Instagram knows last year how I was like, man, training for a trail race has made me really feel how much of a road runner I really am. And then I went and signed up for another trail race.
Another one.
But it just really, I don't know. I like the thing is I like training on the road. Like I like the predictableness of not having to worry about where my feet are.
Mhm.
But I don't, if I was going to sign up for a road race, I would want to PR something I've already done. And I'm not in a position to put in the intensity and the speed work that I would need to do that. So I just want to like run in like zone 2 and just leave it. But the trail races I feel are more conducive to that for me anyways, because I slow down on the trail. So I know that probably doesn't make sense if you're not a runner, but like if I was going to sign up for a half marathon, I would need to PR by a lot to be happy with myself. Otherwise, I would be like, well, that was a waste of about $100. And I know you're like, well, why would you even sign up in the first place? Because I need to have a goal of some kind.
Well, and
I
I
can't
also
just
think
coast in all the things.
I also think it's good to have a goal that's like more fun, if that makes sense. Like you said it, if it was like a road race, you'd be like, I have to do the best ever. Where like a trail run, you have a little bit more of like, it is what it
I would
is.
take
Do
myself
the
too
best I
seriously
can.
on the road, I think.
Yeah.
And then I would probably end up being like grumpy and injured and like just
Yeah.
not, I
Where
don't
I
think
feel
my
like your
body's like
attitude.
meant to. I just feel like every time I try to run really fast, like to do intervals, I'm just like, oh, my hammy, or like, oh, like this hurts. Like, like I'm just like, my hips just aren't, I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
I've turned more into like a diesel engine than
No, and I think
a
like
race car.
having a goal that you can be more chill about is fun sometimes too. Like, yeah, this is a thing
Yeah.
I want to do and a thing I want to try at, but it's not like it has to be my best performance to date. It can just like, it is what it is type of thing. And I think that makes sense for like where you're at with strength training right now. Like your trail run is more like, yeah, let's do the best we can, but it's not do or die. So of course that's going to transition into your weight training, because you're not like, I have to maximize my weight training so that my trail run can be the best thing I've ever done in my whole life.
Well, and we all know that you can't be like maxing out in the gym and maxing out in your running, because you maybe could for a little while, but
And your
it
whole
wouldn't
body
last very
maxes out
long.
and you go
Mine
none
would.
night.
These old hips would reject
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So I think it's like and it's also like a where is your focus right now conversation.
Mhm.
Like, does your focus need to be, and this is for anyone who feels like maybe they're just like coasting through their workouts, like, does your focus need to be somewhere else, whether in like a different type of training or in life or with your kids or whatever? Like, is there something else that needs more of your energy right now? But I would suggest staying away from like, this is what I do forever. Be like, right now, my life needs a little more focus. And when that chills out, I can get back to like pushing weights in the gym or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. Just remind yourself that it doesn't have to be forever.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think we should ever say anything is like forever, because you just never know. Like something might come up and I'll be like, oh, I'm super motivated to go back to CrossFit. And I
Yeah.
might be, but right now, yeah, no,
Well, I also think,
the idea of high intensity, high reps is just like, I'm already
okay.
tired.
Yeah. And I think it's being like realistic with yourself of like, if you know you're coasting through workouts a little bit right now, which is fine, we have to be realistic about the goal side of things too. Cause I already hear the conversation in my head. Like, if you were a very type A client, if I made you like, if I was talking to you as a client and you were very type A, the next thing out of your mouth would most likely be, but I'm not really seeing results, or like the scale isn't changing, or like X, Y, and Z isn't happening. So I think it's important too that like if we recognize we're coasting a little bit in the gym, we're not like pushing weights, we're just kind of hanging. We have to be realistic about what's going to change or not change within our bodies too.
Nutritionally, we are on point. We're
We love
getting the
that.
water, we're getting the protein, we're making protein bagels over here. We're drinking the diet root beer.
I love that you're on the diet root beer train. I keep throwing it in more of my TikToks, and I'm like,
so tasty.
Can I have a diet root beer sponsorship?
So tasty. So tasty. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I mean, I don't even think about nutrition anymore. It's just so automatic, but it's so automatically, I hate the word healthy. It's so automatically like, it's satisfying. It's like, it's high protein, it's high vegetables, it's, all the things you think you should be doing for nutrition, with a sprinkling of deliciousness of, a little bit. I just finished chocolate almonds before we jumped on the call, things like that. But yeah, I guess like coasting for that, I'm like, why am I okay with that, but not like the gym bugs me?
Well,
Is it because I'm a trainer? Is it because I think I should be doing something else?
I also think it's because we're both athletes and we're not used to just being like, coast, you're fine. Like, when is coasting ever an option as an athlete? Rarely.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I've just gotten to the point in like that I've strength trained for so long that like my body just sort of retains the strength. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, even like I would never stop completely because then I would really fall apart. But I think it's just like, yeah, if I wanted to do a little block of like 4 to 6 weeks of like a build, I could. It would be mentally taxing right now, but I think my body would just go for it.
Well, yeah, and I think you do a lot of work with other people around like the mindset around nutrition and workouts too, but mostly nutrition. So that's probably rubbed off on you. Like, I think we forget that our coaching rubs off on ourselves. Like, sometimes I say things to clients and I'm like, oh, I should do that too. We like half coach ourselves while we're coaching other people. But I also
every time I talk about nutrition, people are like, oh, but like, how is this like you talk about it like it's so easy. How is this so easy for him? Like, I've been doing it for like 5 years like this.
And we have many conversations.
You've been doing it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. I also, like the athletes in us are like more, better, like that side of things when it comes to training. Cause like, even though I haven't played organized sports in close to 10 years, I'm getting old. Gross. It's just like, I think it's ingrained. You're either an athlete or you're not. You're not, said with love, or you're a NARP, a non-athletic regular person, which is fun. Have you never heard of NARP before?
No.
I learned that from, you guys are probably around. My ex played football and I used to go chill in Winnipeg. Some of you have been here for that phase of my life. One of the guy's girlfriends at the time didn't play sports and they called her NARP one day. And I said, I'm sorry, what? And they said, yeah, a non-athletic regular
person. I love that.
So like that. We unfortunately have the athlete ingrained in us that like we're doing the most or we're not doing it at all. So.
I was a like high-ish level athlete in like the late 90s, early 2000s. It was beaten into me.
Sorry, I'll say that closer to the mic for the podcast. You're old.
I am. You wouldn't be allowed to do half the shit that was done to us.
I literally said this morning to someone else who's also old. He doesn't listen to the pod. You would know who it is. Was talking about something in the 90s. And I was like, hey, I was alive for 3 years in the 90s. But I just think like athletes we're always
You mean the late 1900s?
It makes it sound real old. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's hard for us to get out of that mindset of like we always have to be striving for better, we always have to be doing more, we always have to have a goal, especially in the gym, because it's how I feel about that's why I can't run. Because I'm just like, what is like I'm not running for a purpose other than health, but apparently that's not good enough for my brain. So uh I think it's like
Yeah.
that drive in our brains is like, hey, what are we working towards? And you're like, we don't have to be working towards something all the time. We'll be fine as we are.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I can't like go back to like, like recreationally play like a team sport. Like I can't go
Yeah.
to like I can't join like a rec hockey league or anything like that because I will literally be like, well, if I'm not performing like Connor McDavid, what's the point?
Literally, I played both women's only and co-ed basketball pre-COVID. I meant to get back into it post-COVID, but clearly have not. Women's league, not the vibe for me because it was either like 50-year-old women that were like competing for the Olympics out there or people who didn't care at all. And I need a happy medium. Like I remember one of the teams I was on, one of the girls was like, well, we're all just here for fun anyways. And my entire brain was like, the fuck we are. Like, what are we doing if we're not trying to win? I don't understand. So the
I
competitive sides of us still are there.
I agree. We went to public skating with my brother and his family and his son, his 7-year-old is he's very competitive and he's a hockey player and he wanted to play tag and I was like, fine, but you'll never catch me.
Bye.
And I was like all over the ice and he was just like he was trying so hard and he's like, Auntie, I didn't know you were a good hockey player. And I was like,
Like, never doubt
listen,
me again.
I was like, who do you think used to make fun of your dad?
Literally.
Me. Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I used to be faster than your dad. Then he
Yeah.
got big and I just don't stand a chance because muscle mass. But like I
Fair.
was like, no, like I was better than your dad, just so you know.
I think it's funny that like kids forget that we used to do things. Like my younger cousins do
Well,
that too. When they like force me like at family dinners in the summer
I
when they're like, play baseball with us. And I'm like, fuck, fine. And then they get mad when I beat them. I'm like, did you
I
forget
don't
that I used to be an athlete too? Like,
I don't think he knew really, like, because I haven't played since he was born. Like
yeah.
I haven't. So and now he's like old. He's like, oh. But even
But
like
I
when
also
we're at
think
the cabin, like we'll go water skiing and he'll be like,
well, I think that's what I
you're
mean. Like I
you're
don't
you're
think
good at this.
like kids recognize that like we also used to be kids. So they're just like, how are you good at these things? And it's like, because I also
Yeah.
did them once upon a time.
Well, and if you remember, that's why my brother and I had to water ski every day this summer that we were at the lake because we were trying to convince my nephew that if you practice, you will be good at water skiing. And so one weekend, I went 5 times from Friday evening until Sunday when we left.
Did
And
your
my
arms fall
arms
off your
were going
body?
to leave my body. I was like, I have not done this since I was like 13.
You know, you hit a wall. We went on a sports tangent, but like, you know, you've hit a wall with water skiing when you're like sitting in the water waiting to start, and they're like, ready, and you're like, yep, and then the rope just like leaves
And
your
you're just
hand, and
like,
you're like, ugh.
so many times that happened to me where I'd be like getting my balance and then I was like, yep. And I was like, no.
No, and it just like shoots out of your hands, and you're like, okay, you know, your time when
And
you don't even try to hold on, you just like
the
let it get ripped out of your
yeah,
hands.
other water skiers chime in as to what happened when you're past your prime. But I remember it was like the first time that we had decided we were going to go and my brother was driving and his kids were in the boat and it took me like 3 tries to get up. So it was just not lots, right? But by the time you get up, you're so tired. And so I was like, Jamie, I asked my brother's name is Jamie, and I was like, Jamie, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I was like, I feel like there's something that's not clicking in my body. And he said, just make sure you're like pushing against the water with the ski and then stand up. And I was like, I thought I was, but okay.
Is that not what I was doing?
Then, like a couple weeks later, a significant amount of time, for a 4-year-old. I'm in the water again, and I struggle to get up. And my niece, sweet little niece, sweet little 4-year-old goes, Auntie, are you pushing the ski against the water? And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm trying. And I was like, you just hung me out to dry, kid. I thought you were on my side.
That's funny. You want to know why I got my shin tattooed? Half the reason my shin is tattooed is because I always forget which foot my ski goes
Oh
on.
my
And
God.
the first ski of every season, I don't get up like 5 times in a row. And I used to pride myself in my prime of skiing. I used to be able to put my hair in a bun, ski, finish skiing, hair wouldn't be wet because I like didn't fall, got up first try. We're not quite there anymore. Hair gets a little damp trying to get up. We drown a little trying to get up now.
Just have to hold your breath.
But I used to always put my ski on the wrong foot, and then I would get annoyed that I couldn't get up, and then I'd be like, hold on, and like put it on my other foot, and then I'd be like, okay, we're good now.
Don't you just remember if you're goofy or regular?
No.
Oh.
Apparently
everybody in my family is regular except for me.
I think, yeah.
I'm goofy.
I'm right foot forward, I think.
Me
I better
too. Me too.
Yeah. Or else I put my shin tattoo on the wrong foot and it's not going to be helpful. So.
Well, that doesn't help if you don't remember that it's on the right.
We're fine. That's why I put it there. We'll be okay. But
that's so I did not know that, but that is so funny and such a good idea.
Yeah, because one time I got so mad water skiing because I couldn't get up. And then I was like, tried to go one more time and I fell. And somehow the fin of my ski like caught me in the back, like went into the back of my shoulder. And I was like, literally, like it was like running down my back. I was bleeding. And my dad was like, are you done? And I was like, no, I'm not done because I needed to get up. So I like switched feet, got up first try, and then was pissed because like I was annoyed that I put it on the wrong foot. And also my shoulder was bleeding. Like that is the definition of too competitive for your own good. You're just like, I'm literally injured, but I'm determined to get up on this ski. So. The joys
you're like, now I just have to do it out of spite.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not getting out of this water until it happens. I don't care if I get up and instantly let go, but like I'm getting out of this water.
I mean, eventually you'll get to the point where, so this summer it happened to me where I was just like, you know what? I am giving up on the idea of just starting on one ski because my arms are so, yeah, I do. I just drop a ski because I can do it when I'm halfway out of the water, right? Mm-hmm. I just kind of stand up and as soon as as the boat's planing up, I just let it go and it's right by the dock. So I'm like, it's not really like it's dropping a ski, but it's not like I'm doing a lap and then coming back, right? Like I'm like, I just need my arms to not be that spent by the time I water ski because then I can't go for as long.
Yeah. And that's my dad doesn't listen to the pod, but like 3 years ago, because my dad also slalom skis. Which if all of you are sitting there being like, why is water skiing so hard? It's because Jess and I slalom ski. 1, not 2, in case anyone didn't catch that vibe.
Not what you think.
But my dad was determined to still get up on one ski and then he tore his entire hamstring. So now we don't do that anymore. So
yeah. The other thing is I switched from my brother's like high-end carbon water ski to my dad's like 40-year-old mahogany classic water ski. And it's just easier to ski less aggressive, right? If you know water skis at all, it's like, first of all, my brother's ski is like the boots are too big for me and they're suicide boots. So what that means is that your feet are strapped in. They don't have a little horseshoe in the back. So you're in. You can't drop a ski to ski on that ski. Just not happening. And if you're not skiing aggressively, it just doesn't feel right. But my dad's ski is just like, it used to be like a really high-end ski in its day, but it's just like now where I'm at in my life, I'm good, but I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm casual, but like, cause I'm going like 5 times a weekend and trying to get my nephew to like, just practice. But for the performance that I'm looking for, it's good enough. And we are on a big tangent right now.
That's fine. The last tangent
Did you know?
The last tangent of water skiing is I feel you because I have a competition ski because 17-year-old me needed the fastest ski you could get. And now 26-year-old me is like, holy fuck, this is a lot of work every time I ski because it's like you lean 1 inch and my ski is like, see ya. I'm like, okay, great. But moral of the story, keep competing. Just find different ways to do it with your nieces and nephews, maybe, instead of people your age. Or if you're me, it's your younger cousins, because every year they're like, you can't still do that. And I'm like, want to bet?
Yeah.
And
I would say keep training, keep competing so that you can trash talk the younger people in your life. When they start to throw shade at you, you can throw it right back.
don't let them win.
Or turn, don't ever let, you can't, my brother doesn't let his kids win at sports, which I think is like a really fun sort of thing. Cause a lot of parents will be like, oh no, you scored on me. But like Jensen's like, he's a hockey player and my brother's like, I can't remember what was, my brother's a coach of his team. And he was like, this one coach was like, man, like that kid's like super competitive. And my brother's like, yeah, that's my kid. And I don't let him win.
Literally, earn your fucking win. I don't know what to tell you. Me and your brother are the same.
Parenting advice, according to Jess and Jill.
Yeah.
You need to beat your kids at
your kids
games
earn their
and sports. Yeah, make them earn the win. Even when Win and I are at the point where we're playing pass with the hockey ball. And sometimes I'll just kind of like do a little wrist shot and I'll just like get her in the belly.
You're like, loser.
like nice save.
See, these are the type of parents I appreciate. Not that you can be a gentle parent and still make your kids win in their sports, but
I'm not talking about I think, first of all, what people think gentle parenting is, it's not permissive parenting.
Like,
it's just
earn your win, but I'm not going to yell at you.
For me, gentle parenting, and now we're on another tangent, is treating your kids like human beings, because that's what they are. You don't have to treat them like they're on this pedestal. They're just human.
Which means
you can treat them with respect. You can use your manners with them. You can let them have their say, but you can also
kick their ass in sports.
Kick their ass in sports because you're good at sports. And if you're good at sports, and they will rise up to be better at sports.
But if you need
anyways, if you have any questions or comments about the coasting or anything that we talked about today, if you want to tell us how you keep your kids in check in sports, you can always send us a message. You can send us a voice memo. That's still an option. You can find me at JLAC Fitness. And Jill, where can we find you?
You can find me at coachjill.april on Instagram and TikTok. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.